Jody Jackson with us, Fox Sports Arizona host, reporter. You have been out at the Arizona Cardinals. If I would have told you a year ago that, hey, by the way, the coach is going to be gone, the staff's going to be gone, Josh Rosen's going to be gone, all these people are going to be gone, and you're going to be covering a new coach who's never coached in the NFL, and you're going to be covering a Heisman Trophy guy at quarterback, you probably wouldn't have believed me. With that as the setup, what do you make out of what you've seen so far? Because I know you've been out at the Cardinals.
Yeah, I've been getting out there a little bit to see some of these rookies come in on, and I'm pretty intrigued by the passing attack that they're building right now. But you're right. I never would have thought. I actually, early on in Steve Wilkes' tenure, there were some questions, and you kind of thought, okay, is this going to work long term? And early on, I could kind of see that maybe it wasn't going to. But I would not have expected Josh Rosen to be gone, and I wouldn't have obviously known that they were going to hire Cliff Kingsbury. So I was super impressed with Kyler Murray out there, though, just the arm. I mean, I know he can run. The little bit that I saw, I didn't see him run a lot. What they're doing right now is just getting him acclimated to the playbook and the other players, of course. But it's pretty intriguing when you've got, Andy Isabella out there and a lot of these other receivers that they've brought in, and then you see Larry out there as that stabilizing force. But there's still questions on the line and then on the defense. So, and the offense, don't get me wrong, it's a question. I mean, we don't know how it's going to play in the NFC West and against this competition. This is different competition for many of these players who are going to be thrust into roles right out of college. I think a lot of them, not just Kyler.
They're going to be interesting, though, Jody. And I know that fans are like, okay, Brad, whatever, you're reaching at straws. No, there is a point where you bottom out, which they've done, I hope. And you've got to be interesting, and they're going to be relevant, I think, in the landscape for the first month and a half. We'll see where they are by midseason. But they are interesting, much more to me than they were a year ago.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the intrigue initially. And the big key is going to be, look, if Kyler Murray can do his thing on the big stage, which I think that they're going to put him in every position. This was the situation, you're going to be all in or you're not. So, I mean, they're all in on this and making it work. And, the interesting thing is, and I like Brett Hundley in there, but keeping him healthy is going to be huge because when you have everything dialed around one guy in Kyler Murray, you're going to want to keep him healthy, and that's obvious, right? But I think there are ways they can do that, and we hope to see David Johnson back to what he can do. They are going to run the ball. I mean, they're going to have to keep teams a little bit off balance, and that's going to be a big part of it. But I think that's the one thing we all are wondering, right, is how much are they going to pass the ball? Is it really going to be like we've seen Cliff Kingsbury at the college game? I think we all know that it can't be quite that high of a percentage because you do have to keep teams off balance, but we'll see how high it can get up there. If it's successful, they're going to keep throwing it.
Well, and one last thought on that, and it's Byron Murphy has now turned into a player that is going to be enormous for them with the Patrick Peterson suspension.
Yeah. And that's another thing that you really hate to throw rookies right in there, but he's going to have to do that. Yep. And I think, and I know you know him really well, Brad. You know him a lot better than I do. I really don't yet. But I think he's the kind of guy that maybe could handle it. And that's something that we're going to see because, going back to Bruce Arians, where he didn't love putting rookies in that position for a reason. But, it did work out. It did work out a lot of times when he had to do that. And coaches have different philosophies, and Cliff Kingsbury is going to be one of those ones that's also trusting these guys to go out there and sort of do their thing right off the bat.